Hello and welcome to the ITW Irish Cricket Awards 2022. My name is Marie Crowe and I'll be your host for this event. Once again, I will be ably supported by two legends of the Irish sporting landscape, former Ireland men's captain Kyle McCallan and sports broadcaster and journalist John Kenny.
Hi Marie, looking forward to the show.
Hi Marie, yeah, it's great to be here.
This is the second year running that we're coming to you virtually to celebrate the best of Irish cricket. And that is what we're here to do. Celebrate the best of our sport and relive many of the highlights of 2021. It was a year that saw the return of international cricket to Ireland and perhaps, just as important, the return of spectators to games. We also saw the much anticipated return of Ireland women's side to international action after more than 500 days. And what a return it was with the comprehensive series win over Scotland. Now, while at an event like this, we recognise the hard work, achievements and performances of a select few, we all know that this isn't the full story of Irish cricket. The full story of Irish cricket is the volunteers who selflessly give their time to run our clubs, the kids who train, play and love our game, the mums, dads and carers who play their part in getting their kids to training and to games, the groundskeepers who prepare the grounds and pitches, the scorers, umpires and officials who are so essential, the coaches and teachers who develop our talent or engage kids in our games. Irish cricket is far more than what you see on the field of play. The Irish cricket family is made up of the many thousands of you out there that keep our sport alive, vibrant and growing. These awards also recognise your efforts. Now, before we start, we have a special welcome message.
Hi everyone, I'm Jack Chambers, Minister for Sport. I'm delighted to join you for the Irish Cricket Awards. The Irish Government is proud of the journey that Irish cricket has taken over many years and the way our international sides represent our sporting nation across the world stage. To be at the top table of the world's second largest sport is no mean feat, but Cricket Ireland deserves credit for the hard work and success it has achieved, and the government is pleased to support this work. Of course, the success is not Cricket Ireland's alone. It's also due to the many volunteers, players, administrators and fans of this great sport across the island of Ireland. Good luck to all award winners, and I hope it's a really great celebration.
Thanks to Minister Chambers for the message. It was great to have the support again of both the Irish Government and Northern Ireland Executive in 2021. 2021 was the year we returned to a bit more normality. From Coleraine to Cork and Greystones to Galway, cricket was enjoyed across Ireland. Here's just a few highlights of what was achieved during the year. Thank you to the team at ITW for their ongoing support of Irish cricket. And indeed, we welcome all of Cricket Ireland's sponsors who have been great support during this most difficult of years, including ITW, Turkish Airlines, Hanley Energy, Supporgi Palangi Group, O'Neill's, TechFinder, HBV Studios, Clear Currency, Tildenet and Gibney's. Thanks also goes to our charity partner, the Hope Foundation. And finally, we would like to thank Waterford Crystal for their beautiful awards that will be sent to all of our award winners this year. Waterford Crystal has been associated with cricket for more than a generation, primarily through its more than 20-year history of creating a crystal version of the famous Ashes urn for the MCC that is presented to the winning team after each Ashes series. Cricket Ireland and Waterford are now creating their own ties, and we are delighted with the partnership. Now, before we get into the awards, I'd like to welcome Warren Dutram, Chief Executive of Cricket Ireland, to the stage. Warren, you're so very, very welcome. 2021 felt like we headed back towards reality a little bit anyway. There were a lot of highs. What for you were your personal highlights?
You're quite right to say highlights. There were a load. I suppose we would have to start with the obvious one of making sure that cricket could return during a pandemic. It was our second season of it. Clearly there was more cricket happening at every single level, international, provincial, and of course at club level. And that is huge tribute to the players, coaches, administrators, staff, groundspeople at clubs, at provincial unions, and of course my staff too. And I guess looking back to the other, highlight for me in broad, leading again from the pandemic, was the return of fans. That was enormously, significant for the game and that sense of return to normality. Just remembering one highlight that sticks out for me, I think it was May the 24th at Stormont. The Ireland women's team took on Scotland. That just for the first time seeing the players back and seeing the fans there as well was superb. I guess on the field of play, my mind actually starts probably unusually over the years, but with what the women's team achieved. If I think about Amy Hunter's record-breaking century in cricket, the youngest ever international centurion, male or female, on her 16th birthday against Zimbabwe. Remember Gabby Lewis getting her T20I century, ending up in ICC's T20I Team of the Year. And of course the women's team qualifying for the ICC Women's Championship from now 2022 up to 25. Men's cricket, beating South Africa, that memorable and hot day at Malahide was fantastic. I think Simi Singh during that series coming in at number 8 and scoring a century. I was privileged to be in the UAE to watch Curtis Campher get 4 wickets in 4 balls as well. So those things really, really do stick in my mind. I guess off the pitch, we did an awful lot, launched a number of strategies and plans last year. Our strategic plan, there was the Women's and Girls Cricket Action Plan. I think if I was also looking at our domestic competition as well, we launched an expanded Inter-Pro competition. I think our Super Series is going from strength to strength. Our emerging Inter-Pro men's competition as well was launched. And all of that has been done by an extraordinary series of efforts by our staff. And I think in terms of the level of visibility now of our game, if I think that even at a domestic level now, Inter-Pro, Super Series, women's international cricket as well, I think we had something in the region of 6 million views just on our own live stream this year. So all of those things really sort of come high up in my mind about the real steps that we're making as a sport.
And all of this as well going on while there was a pandemic happening. So it just shows how remarkable the achievements of the sport were over the last year. But let's look to the future a little bit. So when we think about the next 5-10 years, when you think about it and Cricket Ireland, what can we expect and where will your focus be?
It's a good question. I guess if I was to look back in the previous number of years, and we don't want to do too much looking back, but I get the point is that there was a very clear vision and goal for our sport. Let's become a test nation. I guess now the trick is to raise the horizons again. What's the new mountain to climb for the sport? And I guess I've tried to characterize that in the last couple of years in one phrase, which is We don't just want to be a major nation in cricket, we want to be a major sport in Ireland. And that's all that's been encapsulated within our vision to become a mainstream sport. I guess, how is that being built upon, or how are we putting concrete steps to make that happen? We've launched our current strategic plan 21 to 23, which is to, I guess, lay the foundations for the next ensuing 7-year period up to 2030 in what we hope is going to be a period of expansion for the sport based on brand new funding from ICC, which we believe we significantly deserve based on what we have achieved on and off the pitch. And if I look to 2030, what did we have? What did we achieve as a sport in November last year? It was being given the co-hosting rights for the Men's World Cup in 2030. We think that's a perfect capstone to what we hope is going to be a 10-year journey to making cricket mainstream. And along the way to that, there are going to be 2 or 3 things that I think are going to be absolutely essential to that. One is facilities. That, for me, in the last 6 to 12 months, if it wasn't important beforehand, it has become, I think, critical and probably not my number one strategic objective for our sport, to make sure that we have proper fit-for-purpose facilities, not just at international level, but also at provincial and club level as well. That's where me and my staff are ensuring we're putting an awful lot of effort. We were promised back in 2018 by the then Taoiseach, Leo Varadkar, that they would make significant support to us to develop a major new cricket ground at the National Sports Campus in Dublin. We fully intend to hold them to that promise to us. But it's not just at that national level. We're going to be doing more work with government, Sport Ireland and with Sport NI and the Department for Communities in the North to ensure that support and that facility and infrastructure is going to be at every single level of the sport. I think the other thing that we want to build, or the 2 things that we want to build on more significantly in the next 7 to 10 years, is going to be, number one, the visibility of the sport. And I just mentioned we got 6 million in terms of our views of our cricket, even at domestic and women's international level, which are extraordinary numbers and give us huge comfort for the future of what we can achieve if we put even more effort into it. And I think the other element is to ensure that we're providing as much support as we can to our provincial unions. Because when we do that, that makes sure that our clubs and our grassroots are fed as well. So that, for me, I reckon if we can get to 2030, having completed a brand new stadium, brand new indoor cricket centre, regional hubs with very significant grounds and permanent infrastructure, that's going to release hundreds of thousands and millions of euro funding that allow us to invest in the other parts of the sport, programmes and people.
Oran, thank you so much for joining us. Plenty to look forward to over the next while. Now, though, it's time for our awards. Now to the main part of the event. As a special bonus this year, while you can enjoy the event right here on YouTube, you can jump onto Cricket Ireland's Twitter and Facebook channels after the event finishes to enjoy a series of great interviews conducted by Kyle and John with every winner and Hall of Fame inductee. Actually, before we begin, we should also thank our judging panel: Aideen Rice, Isabel Joyce, Ian Callender, Ger Siggins, Paddy Grimes, Peter McCartney, Joe Moynihan and Philip Smith. Now on to our first award, and it is the Shapurji Palanji Outstanding Contribution to Coaching. This award recognises an individual who has made a significant contribution to cricket coaching and who has demonstrated commitment and passion towards developing cricketers at the community level over a number of years. So, over to Shankar Krishnan from Shapurji Palanji to announce the winner.
Thanks, Marie. Shapurji Palanji has been very proud to support the emerging talent of Irish cricket and sponsor this award for outstanding contribution to coaching. This year, the winner is Ted Williamson.
Ted's contribution to coaching is immense over many, many years. His work from grassroots to club to representative demonstrates a commitment to the sport that goes above and beyond. Congratulations, Ted.
It's an honour. It genuinely is an honour to be recognised like this, even if you look at some of the guys that have come before me in getting the award. So just a huge thank you to people who nominated me, and obviously the Cricket Ireland for recognising me in this kind of way. So it's an honour and a privilege to be nominated for the award. Thank you.
Listen, obviously you've been heavily involved in coaching in Ireland for a long time, but focusing on the last 12 months, what's been the highlight for Ted Williamson over the last 12 months?
I suppose there's probably two, Kyle, really. First of all, from a club perspective, the success that Harlequins have had locally, and then obviously nationally with nearly getting across the line, the final against Brigade. But that has been, and I've said about it before, it's been a massive long-term project. It's taken us to go to kind of 7 or 8 years to get there, and there was hard times along the way to sort of see that eventually come to fruition, and the lads building on that over the year and just getting confidence, really. So that will be one, certainly the progression of the club and that cohort of players that have come up through the club from, say, under 15s. And secondly, the success, I think, story of the Reds this year, if you look at our situation with Gareth Delaney and Curtis being injured fairly short into the season, plus then losing our captain Tyrone Kane, and to see those guys come in, those young lads, around a couple of senior fellas, and we seriously punched above our weight, I thought, and that was a testament to the lads. Obviously myself and Pete can help along the way, but those lads and being part of that was certainly a good one for me. But the club success would have to be number one, I suppose.
You can head to Cricket Ireland's Twitter or Facebook channels after this broadcast and watch a great interview with Ted about his career. Our next award is the Tech Finder Cricket Official of the Year. Whether an umpire, scorer, match referee or tournament director, cricket could simply not happen without this army of cricket officials. For this announcement, let's head over to Paul Guy from Tech Finder.
Thanks, Marie. Tech Finder is proud to support Irish cricket and sponsor an award that acknowledges often under-recognised roles that cricket officials play every season. While a number of worthy nominations were made, this year's winner is Mary McElwee. Congratulations, Mary, from all of us at Tech Finder.
Mary McElwee, the Tech Finder Cricket Official of the Year for 2021. You've been nominated for this award before. It must be nice to finally win it.
Yes, it is. It's lovely. And it's an honour to receive it.
Well, obviously, you've been recognised for your work as well as a scorer by winning this particular award. How proud are you of...
I'm very proud.
Yeah. Well, and unexpected as well?
Yes.
What does it mean to you?
It means a whole lot to get this award after all these years.
Yeah. And what's your friends and family think?
Well, my husband's the only one that knows at the minute.
What does he say?
Oh, he's kind of chuffed too, so he is. So I'll know more about it.
Are you going to continue on in this vein now in 2022?
Yes, all being well, yes, I will continue.
Okay. How long do you think you'll be able to do this?
Well, as long as I'm able to do it, I'll keep continuing.
The essential role that scorers play in our game often goes unrecognised. So we're delighted for Mary and for this award to celebrate the work of all cricket scorers around Ireland. And it would be remiss of us at this stage not to acknowledge the international retirement of another cricket official this year, the wonderful Alan Neil, who has stepped down from the Cricket Ireland Elite Umpire Panel. Thanks, Alan, for all of your dedication and work over many years at the elite level. Again, if you hop onto Cricket Ireland's Twitter or Facebook channels after this broadcast, you can watch a great interview with Mary. Our next award is the House of Waterford Crystal Volunteering Excellence Award. Volunteers are the lifeblood of Irish cricket, and we are grateful with the huge number of dedicated volunteers who enable our sport to happen season after season. Over to Tom Walsh from Waterford Crystal with the winner.
Thanks, Marie. Every sport relies on its army of volunteers to sustain and grow the game at grassroots through the international levels. As an iconic Irish brand, the House of Waterford Crystal is proud to support this event as well as this very special award. This year, the Volunteer Excellence Award goes to Brian Milford.
While Brian has been involved in cricket his whole life, he has served as General Secretary of the Northern Cricket Union for the last 14 years. And to quote his colleagues, he manages every aspect of cricket in the NCU, from fixtures to finance, and his attention to detail and collaborative approach has helped improve cricket in the Provincial Union and beyond.
Brian Milford, the Waterford Volunteering Excellence Award winner for 2021. Congratulations to you. What does winning this award mean to you?
It means a great deal to me, and I'm grateful to the people who nominated me for the award and for the panel who has selected me as the winner. I've been involved in cricket for a very long time, and I've tried to put something as much as possible into the game, but I have received much more in return from the game of cricket, especially in terms of the friendships which I've made within my own club, within the Northern Cricket Union, and within clubs all over the province and indeed the island.
Now, the judging panel also wanted to acknowledge a number of other very worthy nominees that were put forward. Stephen McCartney, Joe Mahoney and Siobhan McBennett. Each of you should be very proud of your contributions and that you were put forward by your peers. Again, if you hop onto Cricket Ireland's Twitter or Facebook channels after this broadcast, you can watch a great interview with Brian. Our next award is the Gibney's Outstanding Contribution to Irish Cricket in honour of John Wright. This award, as they say, does what it says on the tin. It honours a person who has made an outstanding contribution to Irish cricket. Over to Tony Gibney from Gibney's of Malahide with this year's winner.
Thanks, Maria. Every year, this is a special award that recognises the giants of the Irish game, people whose positive impact made real and lasting improvements to our sport. Gibney's is proud to support this very special honour, and this year the winner of the Outstanding Contribution and Service to Irish Cricket is bestowed posthumously on Michael Sharp.
Sadly, Michael passed away in December, having devoted a lifetime of service to cricket. A past president of his beloved Pembroke Cricket Club, Michael's name is synonymous with the oversight and administration of cricket in Leinster, and his incredible voluntary contribution extended far beyond his 37 years on Cricket Leinster committees. Michael's role in laying the foundations of competition cricket at club level was immense, and all those involved in cricket in Leinster owe him a significant debt of gratitude. This award is named in honour of John Wright, and he and Michael worked together frequently on cricket matters. There is no doubt of the contribution of John Wright at national and international levels. Likewise, there should be no doubt of the contribution of Michael Sharp to the game of cricket at club level.
And I'm delighted that Michael's wife, Mary, is here to accept the award on the family's behalf. Mary, one part of a formidable administrative double act in Cricket Leinster. Tell us about life in the Dorndon Park Conference Centre.
Well, I'm actually sitting at the moment in the Dorndon Park Conference Centre. It's our dining room of our residents, and it was familiarly known by all as the Leinster Cricket Union Dorndon Park Conference Centre. This was before Leinster cricket became professional employed people. It was totally amateur in those days, and all meetings from executive down to the finance and all the other committees, the accreditation and various ones, all met here, and including the junior branch, which Michael ran, as you know, for 37 years.
You mentioned the 37 years of service, and particularly his fondness for the junior clubs.
Exactly, yes.
Yeah, do you want to just elaborate a little on that?
Well, he would make a point every summer, particularly, of heading off on a Saturday and a Sunday afternoon somewhere to watch cricket. He would say, I would tend to go to Pembroke, but he would say, no, I'm not going there today. I'm going to Wexford, or I'm going to Laois, or even as far as Longford. He would go to the junior clubs. He was very fond of the junior clubs, and he enjoyed very much helping them develop from single teams. In some cases, like Adamstown now have 7 or 8 adult teams, and they're starting a ladies team, and they've several youth teams as well. So he used to love to see the progress made, particularly of the junior clubs, even though he was a member of Pembroke, which was very much long-established senior club.
Now for our Cricket Writers of Ireland Hall of Fame inductees. There are 3 inductees this year. Now, over to Kyle, who will unveil the first inductee this year.
Our first recipient began his career with YMCA in 1982 at the age of 15 and only finished at senior level in 2016 with 12,532 runs and 314 wickets. He was one of the brightest stars of a great YMCA side that won almost everything in the 1980s and 1990s. He was first picked for Ireland in 1990, making 69 on debut versus the MCC and another 50 against Scotland that summer. But he struggled with the bat for several seasons before his career went to another level in 1996. How many more chances is Angus Dunlop going to get? Asked the Ulster cricketer. But after a sixth recall to colours, he finally showed what the selectors saw in him. Against Wales, he was unlucky to miss his maiden century, scoring 99 and 94. But he got there in the next game against the MCC with a brisk 148. That was the first of his 4 centuries for Ireland, the most memorable coming against a South African attack that included Alan Donald and Sean Pollock. Gus was an all-rounder in the early part of his career, taking 5 for 26 on debut, but he never bowled after 1995, finishing with 36 wickets at an average of 35.22. He was appointed captain in 1998 and led his country on 40 occasions. He retired in 2000 and signed off with his 4th century, a chanceless 150 and the highest score for Ireland against Scotland at that time. I guess it took you a little while to get going in terms of international. You really took off after a period of being in and out of the side. What was it that led to that for you?
Probably a kind of a last chance saloon type sort of situation. And I sort of started off okay, and then I had dipped. And then it was really probably the Sussex game that I went on the tour, that there was 1 or 2 guys not available, and it was midweek, and it was Benson and Hedges. Somebody got injured or wasn't available, and I got in on a chance because of an injury or something like that. And I just went for it, because if I hadn't really, they wouldn't have asked again, I don't think. And I got 50 odd and, hit the ball like I probably hadn't done before. And there was kind of a freedom to it. And as a result, I just kicked on from there.
And you kicked on, you have some sensational performances. Which performance would you rank up there as being the very best in your opinion?
Probably the most memorable one was the 100 against South Africa. But probably the better innings was probably the game against Scotland that followed that. Our chairman of selectors, Ronnie, at the time, rang me when I was on the M50 going up to the north, because we were playing in Ormo, the old NICC ground, and he gave me the good news that we had 10 players, and on that basis we had to pick an opening bowler, and I suggested Adrian McCoubry, who had been on an under-17, an Irish under-17 tour that I was coach of. So we picked him, and we had a very, very slim side, shall we say. Mike Hendrick had just been let go, and we went out and we beat Scotland in the first class game for the first time in donkey's years. I don't know how long it had been, but we went out and we beat them fair and square. It was good.
And now over to John for the next inductee to the Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Kyle. Our second recipient was born in Waterford, but helped form Malahide Cricket Club back in 1988. Barbara MacDonald quickly proved herself to be the outstanding seam bowler of her generation. She played for Ireland under-19s before winning her first senior cap in 1993, aged 21 against the Netherlands. By 1996, she had bedded down in the team and won 60 caps in the following decade. Barbara saved some of her best performances for the biggest games, taking 3 for 17 against South Africa, 4 for 8 against Pakistan, and 4 for 13 against the West Indies. In all, she played in 4 World Cups and took 63 wickets at less than 3 runs and over. It was also against South Africa she made her career best with the bat, 22 not out at the World Cup in 2000. She also spearheaded a strong Malahide attack and was a key performer in 2002 when the club won the treble for the first time, taking 2 for 23 off 10 overs in the Pilkington Plate final against YMCA. And she's with me now. Congratulations, Barbara MacDonald.
It's an absolutely lovely honour, and it's something I am completely surprised to get, because I've been very lucky, actually. I've played with a lot of great cricketers, and I'm absolutely delighted.
In terms of your international career, you played in 4 World Cups. What was your greatest memories of a World Cup?
Travelling to India, because the sport, it was just so passionate. There were huge crowds at the matches, the event. Even back then, that was 1997, the games were televised on telly. And we did pretty well. Like, we had a pretty good team, and we our best experience probably even in that World Cup is we played Pakistan, and it was in India, but we basically had a huge crowd supporting Ireland that day. It was my closest thing, being from soccer, to thinking I was at Lansdowne Road. The atmosphere, and I don't know how many were there. There were thousands there, and they were just all cheering for Ireland, and that was a very special experience.
Well, congratulations on being inducted into the Cricket Ireland Hall of Fame. It's well deserved. Barbara MacDonald, congratulations, and well done. And for the moment, we'll hand it back to you, Kyle.
There is little left to say about Dermot Monteith that he didn't say himself in his rollicking autobiography, A Stone in the Glasshouse. Born in 1943, he had just turned 22 when first picked as a batsman for Ireland. He made 54, becoming the first Irish debutant to make a first innings 50 at Lord's. While all the batting and appearance records have fallen in the last 15 years, Dermot's 326 wickets is still the most taken by an Ireland bowler and looks unlikely to be overtaken for many years to come. His best of 8 for 44 also came at Lord's against the MCC, but he had a phenomenal 27 5-wicket hauls, including 5 for 33 against the near test quality Pakistan International Airways 11, 5 for 96 against the 1976 West Indians, and 8 wickets in the famous win over Sussex in 1977. His bowling was good enough to be called upon by Middlesex in 2 seasons when they were hit by international calls for their spinners, John Embury and Phil Simmons. He fitted in perfectly and helped the county to the championship title. In doing so, he showed Irish club players that they were capable of playing in England, and a new wave of youngsters won trials and contracts in the following years. A letter addressed simply to the second best left-arm spinner in the world was duly delivered by the Royal Mail. Sure, who else would they deliver it to? His career was ended by a hit-and-run driver in 1985, but he tried to return for his beloved Lisburn to no avail. He became an Ireland selector and was president of the union in 1999, driving the introduction of a cricket committee. After several years of illness, Dermot died in 2009. And I'm delighted to have another great of Irish cricket, Simon Corlett, with me to remember the great Dermot Monteith. Simon, the autobiography, A Stone in the Glasshouse, pretty much sums Dermot up, doesn't it?
Well, it was in his own words. So, yeah, that's all he's prepared to admit to, you know. He was a real character, as everybody knows. And it's a great privilege for me to accept this on his behalf, to be honest, and to try and talk about what he got up to, or his track record as an Irish player, which is second to none as far as I'm concerned. Yeah. He one of very few people who really got Ireland onto the map and got us into the sort of situation we're in now. You know, the very early days, the very first competitive match against Middlesex at Lord's, when, as captain, he took the unprecedented step of deciding to bat against a world-class attack. And when we only made 102, he looked as though he'd made a bad mistake. But when we had Middlesex 69 for 5 and we missed a stumping, which probably could have got us the match, you know, I think people thought twice. So he was a very, apart from being competitive captain, he was a very attacking captain and a player, and a great man to play under, as long as he approved of you or recognised you as being a decent player, because he didn't suffer fools gladly, as you probably know. But an inspirational captain to play under, yeah.
And we can now speak with Dermot's son, Peter. Peter, a very proud day for the Monteith family.
It certainly is. And thanks very much indeed for inviting me to say something on behalf of my dad. It's an amazing day, and one which he would have been hugely proud of. Although, of course, if you knew my dad, he'd have been quite surprised that he hadn't been called upon before for this particular honour. But nonetheless, it's a huge honour, and the family are delighted, and I'm delighted to be here to accept it in his behalf.
Yeah, you know, Dermot played a role in my own career, just an advice where his words of wisdom and his words of encouragement, but more than anything, almost the need to have belief in yourself. And you've just said it there. He was a man ahead of his time, really, in terms of what he achieved in the game. And undoubtedly, you know, you'll have very fond memories of what he brought that way. He was a big personality.
He was certainly that, and certainly everything I saw of him growing up and everything I've read about him since suggests that he was, should we say, he was certain of his own place in the cricketing firmament and his ability to perform the job on the pitch. But some of my finest, earliest memories have been dragged down to Rathmines or Malahide or up to Ormo to watch him play. And just the respect in which he was held by the opposition and the way in which he conducted himself on the pitch was something to behold.
Cricket Ireland's wonderful charity partner are an iconic Irish not-for-profit working with street and slum children in Calcutta, India. They work to free children and poor families from lives of pain, abuse, poverty and darkness. Here's some more about this great charity.
Kolkata, a city unlike any other. It is home to over 14 million people. Around a quarter of the population live in the worst kind of poverty. The majority of these are children. For generations, these families call Kolkata's busy streets their home, living in the most appalling conditions one could ever imagine. Almost 1 million children die each year in India before they reach their 5th birthday. Those who survive are forced to work 12 hours a day or more, begging for money or rummaging in rubbish dumps. At night, their tiny bodies lie on the city's busy streets to sleep, where at risk of being abused, trafficked, or forced into prostitution. It is a miserable existence for these vulnerable children. Many are abandoned, alone with no one to love and protect them. One of the horrific ways in which people are forced to scratch a living is by rag picking in the city's dump sites. Mothers and children spend entire days picking through mountains of waste, searching for anything they can use, sell, or recycle. However, there is hope. The Hope Foundation was set up at 1999 by Maureen Forrest. Maureen travelled to Kolkata in the early 90s and was appalled by the poverty that she witnessed. Determined to make a difference, Maureen decided to set up one protection home to care for 25 street children. Hope believes in a world where it should never hurt to be a child, working with thousands of vulnerable street children to overcome poverty through its many projects and programs, giving them back a childhood and offering the chance for brighter tomorrow. Education is the pathway out of poverty, and Hope has given thousands of children the opportunity to attend school, receiving the education they deserve. Due to the lack of proper nutrition and healthcare, disease and infection are widespread among street children. To tackle this issue, Hope run their own hospital equipped with 44 beds, providing healthcare to the city's most vulnerable children and adults through its inpatient, outpatient, diagnostic, ICU, and surgery departments. Hope oversees 13 residential protection homes for girls and boys of all ages. Away from the harsh realities of life from the streets, these protection homes offer the children the chance to lead a normal life in a loving and safe environment. Each child attends school, taking part in activities like sport, dance, arts, and crafts, giving them the opportunity to blossom as human beings, away from the unfavorable conditions they once faced. Forced into child labor and often married by the age of 13, young girls spend their entire life working without ever being offered the chance of an education. With this in mind, Hope opened its very own vocational training center, Life Skills, giving young women the opportunity to learn useful skills they could utilize to provide for themselves and their family. Classes here include tailoring, hairdressing, beauty therapy, cooking and restaurant skills, computer software and financial skills, photography and English. You too can make a difference by helping us to keep a promise to end the vicious cycle of poverty for so many vulnerable children in Kolkata. Will you help us to give hope to a child who desperately needs your help? For more information, please visit our website or follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram.
Despite the ongoing challenges of the pandemic, we saw plenty of club cricket played, and all credit to the many thousands of players, coaches, volunteers, groundskeepers, officials and scorers who came together to ensure a safe and healthy season. Our next award is the O'Neill's Male Club Player of the Year. O'Neill's are a fantastic kit partner for Cricket Ireland and an iconic Irish brand that we are proud to carry with us around the world. Over to John Tumulty from O'Neill's to announce the winner.
Thanks, Marie. O'Neill's is to support cricket in Ireland from grassroots through to international teams. Every year we recognise a male and female club player of the year. For male players, this year we saw 6 nominees put forward: Didi Barr, Anai Chor, Sunil Gautam, John Glass, Theo Lawson and Ruhan Pretorius. And the winner is Anai Chor from North Down.
Annie Chore, congratulations, the O'Neill's Club Player of the Year. You joined the club in January of last year. Did you expect to be named at the end of the year as the Club Player of the Year?
Thank you, John. First of all, I'd like to thank Cricket Ireland for naming me the Club Player of the Year. Yeah, it was like it's a great honor for me. Just my first season in Ireland, and having been named the Cricketer of the Year, it feels really good.
So, Annie, it was a very successful year for you in terms of the runs, over 1,000 runs, an average of 106, and obviously a very busy time behind the stumps as a wicketkeeper as well.
Yeah, it was really good. I think for me, it was really important that, my first season in Ireland, and I wanted to make the most of it. And yeah, being a keeper helps that you're like always in the game, 50 overs of keeping and then batting. So yeah, that really helped me.
Congratulations, Annie, said one of our judges who doubles as a journalist. I seem to be writing about Annie every week. And if you hop onto Cricket Ireland's Twitter or Facebook channels after this broadcast, you can watch the full interview with Annie. Now back to John again for our next award, the O'Neill's Female Club Player of the Year.
Thanks again, Marie. For female players, this year we saw 3 nominees put forward based on their performances at impact for their club. Amy Caulfield, Laura Delaney and Molly Devine. And the winner is Laura Delaney from Leinster Cricket Club. Congratulations, Laura.
Laura, the leading batter, the leading bowler, the leading all-rounder in Leinster Club Cricket, and now this. You're going to need a bigger trophy cabinet.
I don't know about that, but yeah, delighted to get back out there and to contribute to the team's success. We won the league this year. We were unfortunate not to make it out of the semi-final of the cup game, but overall I was pretty happy with how the season went. Obviously a big thank you to Cricket Ireland and those who selected me to win the award, but it's just nice to be able to contribute.
you'd have been pretty happy with that performance against Phoenix, I think, when you had 112 of 93 balls and pretty shabby bowling analysis of 8 for 12.
I think some of the Phoenix girls helped me out that day, if I'm honest. But now, as I said, it was just so nice to get back out onto the pitch. I struggled a little bit with injury at the start of the summer and then broke my finger. So to be able to get back out there and to play with the team, and then I suppose be able to carry that through to international stuff was pretty important. So yeah, I was pretty happy with that performance.
Now it's the Tildenet Club of the Year Award. Clubs are at the heart of our sport, and this award acknowledges achievement on and off the field by some of our most engaging, inclusive and successful clubs. We head to George Bassett from Tildenet to announce the winner.
Thanks, Marie. Here at Tildenet, it's given us immense pleasure over the years to be able to support cricket in Ireland at all levels, something that we've been doing for many, many years now, and it's always a privilege to present this award. There were 4 clubs put forward for the Club of the Year by the judging panel, all very worthy winners in their own right, and they were Balbriggan Cricket Club, Breedy Cricket Club, Cork Harlequins and Drummondess Super Kings. And I'm delighted to announce that the winner is Breedy Cricket Club. Congratulations.
Norman Allen, who's here on behalf of Breedy Cricket Club, the Tildenet Club of the Year for 2021. Personally and collectively, I'd say you're very happy with this award, are you?
Yeah, we're absolutely delighted to get the award. As I say, I think in the past we've been always a forward-thinking club, but we had a small core that did a lot of the work. And recently we have expanded that core, and due to that, we've become a stronger club. We have a lot more volunteers doing a lot more things, and we have a committee that does a lot of real good work behind the scenes. Previously, we had like 2 coaches that did most of our coaching, but recently in the last 2 or 3 years, we've expanded that now, and nearly all our teams have at least 1 or 2 coaches, and not just the same 2 coaches. So we've made great strides in trying to move forward.
Congratulations, Breedy, a wonderful club that has entrenched itself in the heart of its community. The club was recognised last year for its community work during the 2020 lockdowns, and it's great to see them kick on both on and off the field in 2021. If you want to learn even more about Breedy, I'd encourage you after this broadcast to hop onto Cricket Ireland's Twitter or Facebook channels and watch the full interview with Norman Allen from Breedy Cricket Club. Now, it's the Turkish Airlines Groundskeeper of the Year Award. Ground staff are often another group of unsung heroes of our sport. Our game would not be possible without their commitment, expertise and their ability to brave all weather conditions to prepare our pitches and grounds for play. We head to Hasan Mutlu from Turkish Airlines to announce the winner.
Thanks, Mary. Turkish Airlines has been a strong supporter of Irish cricket since 2017. I'm proud to have remained involved over a challenging time over the last 2 years. We are pleased to sponsor the Groundskeeper of the Year award this year. And the winner this year is Dean Simpson from Lisburn Cricket Club.
The past decade has seen a significant increase in the standard of the wickets and outfield at Wallace Park. This would not have happened if it wasn't for Dean's dedication to improving the cricket playing facilities at the park. In fact, Dean not only oversaw improvements at Lisburn, he regularly advises and guides other clubs over matters related to the upkeep or preparation of wickets. Dean also played a prominent role in finding a solution to the issues last March relating to the loam soil crisis caused by the Northern Ireland Protocol.
What does a typical week in the park look like?
There is no typical week at the park, Kyle. It's a very, very busy place. I mean, we have 5 senior men's teams. We have a ladies team, and we have 250 youth members. It's very busy. But I retired from banking in 2012, and I decided I wanted to give something back to the game. It had been very good to our family, Kyle, cricket in general, and I volunteered to help Cecil Walker, who was in charge of the ground at that stage, and the late Barlow. And I went down to help the men out at the ground. And it was great. I mean, I loved it. But people would tell you that I work harder now than I did in my 37 years in the bank. Some people would tell you that wouldn't be hard, but I work harder now at that ground than I did before. It's a 7-day-a-week job. We're there every day, and a good lot of hours. But you know what? It's great fun. You get great enjoyment out of it. It keeps me involved in the game.
If you want to learn even more about Dean and his work, I'd encourage you after this broadcast to hop onto Cricket Ireland's Twitter or Facebook channels and watch the full interview with Dean. Now our next award is the Arachas Super Series Player of the Year. Without a doubt, the Arachas Super Series continued to raise several notches in standard in 2021, with great on-field action complemented by live scoring and live streaming service for our fans to enjoy. The Super Series Player of the Year is a commentary team nominated award for the player who's had the most significant on-field impact for their Super Series team in 2020. Now over to David German from Arachas with the winner.
Thanks, Marie. Arachas were very proud to come on board this year as sponsor to the Super Series, as well as the Super Series Player of the Year. The top 4 ranked players this year were: ranked 4th, Lara Moritz. Ranked 3rd, Shauna Kavanagh. Ranked 2nd, Leah Paul. But the winner this year, and ranked 1st, Gabby Lewis. Congratulations, Gabby.
Gabby had an excellent season at Super Series level, captaining the Scorchers to wins in both the Arachas Super 50 Cup and Arachas Super 20 Trophy. In the 50-over competition, she scored 332 runs at an average of 66.4. With a century and 3 half-centuries, her runs were almost twice those of the next highest scoring batter. Gabby was also the 2nd highest run scorer in the T20 competition. Congratulations, Gabby.
So, Gabby, the Arachas Super Series Player of the Year for 2021. I'd say you're hugely honoured to get this award, are you?
Yes, I'm very honoured to get this award. Thank you, Cricket Ireland, for awarding me with this award. We obviously had a great season with the Scorchers obviously winning the two cups. It was great standard in the competition. So it was a really good, successful year.
Yeah. The absence of a 3rd team, did that make a difference this year?
No, I wouldn't say so. I'd say I actually quite enjoyed the 2 teams. I think it increased the standard of the competition, definitely. And just seeing the performances from individuals in the competition was great.
Now our next award is the HBV Studios Inter-provincial Player of the Year. Like the Super Series, the Inter-provincial Series just seemed to get better and better every game. And I think you'll agree that the Munster Reds made a very welcome debut in the 50-over cup competition. The award has this year been determined by a 3-2-1 vote by the live stream commentary team across every match of the Cup and Trophy competitions. Now, over to Heatley Tector from HBV Studios with the winner.
Thanks, Marie. We in HBV Studios are celebrating 10 years working with Cricket Ireland. This year, we are particularly delighted to sponsor the Inter-provincial Player of the Year award. We hope you enjoy our continued streaming of this series. In 4th place was Andy McBrien. In third place was William Porterfield. In second place was Matt Ford. The winner and heartiest congratulations from all in HBV Studios goes to George Dockrell.
Brad Maness, the batting average throughout the season, it must give you a tremendous sense of satisfaction.
Yeah, look, it was a really, really interesting season for me, I suppose, getting a little bit more responsibility, having had a bit of a shake-up in terms of the team. So, getting that chance to bat higher up the order and take on a little bit more of a batting role was something that I really enjoyed doing, and to be able to kind of come straight into that role and succeed and score those runs and be able to set up the wins we got and winning that one-day competition was really, really satisfying.
George had an excellent season at Inter-provincial level, showing not only great on-field leadership, but also exceptional batting performances in particular. In the IP50 competition, George scored 364 runs at an average of 121.33, which included a century and 4 half-centuries. He scored a further 160 runs in the T20 competition, also taking 6 wickets in that competition at 23 apiece. Congratulations, George. Now, it's the Clear Currency Emerging Talent Female Award. What came across loud and clear in 2021 was that the future is bright in Irish cricket, and it was a breakout year for a number of our young stars. This award is determined by coaches within the respective pathway systems and is open to players under the age of 21. We head to Peter O'Flanagan from Clear Currency to announce the winner.
Thanks, Marie. At Clear Currency, we are proud to support Irish cricket, and especially emerging talent in Ireland through our sponsorship of the Ireland's underage national teams, both male and female. Every year we recognise the best of this talent, and this year's winner of the Clear Currency Emerging Talent Award in the female category is the record-breaking Amy Hunter.
When Irish women's cricket makes the front page of the Irish Times, you know it was for a significant achievement. And I think we will all agree that Amy's century on her 16th birthday was indeed a significant moment, not only for her personally, but for women's cricket as a whole.
Amy, congratulations on the award.
Thank you very much. Yeah, it's an absolute pleasure to receive this award. There's also some really good competition within the team. There's so many emerging people coming through, so it's an absolute honour to receive it.
Amy, we'll have to talk about it. The youngest person ever, male or female, to score an ODI century, that famous century now against Zimbabwe. Talk us through it.
Yeah, so basically I started the day just trying to make it into double figures. And early on in my innings, I managed to get one away through extra cover for 4. And then I sort of thought, okay, this might not be too bad. And then I managed to get a stog sweep away for 4. And I thought, you know what, I'm in double figures. Let's see where this goes, kind of thing. And then it just kind of kept progressing. And then from there until 50 it was slow enough. And then after 50, to be honest, it kind of just went like a blur. I remember being on 97 and just thinking, I want to flick this over square leg. But apart from that, the rest of it was a bit of a blur, to be honest.
And if you want to hear more from Amy, I'd encourage you after this broadcast to hop onto Cricket Ireland's Twitter or Facebook channels and watch the full interview with Amy. Now, it's the Clear Currency Emerging Talent Male Award. We only need to look at last month to see the bright future for our young talent on the male side too. The recent Under-19s World Cup performances came off the back of a big 2021. Again, this award is determined by coaches within the respective pathway systems and is open to players under the age of 21. We head to Peter O'Flanagan from Clear Currency to announce the winner.
Thanks again, Marie. Clear Currency is proud to present this award also. This year's winner of the Clear Currency Emerging Talent Award in the male category is Matthew Humphreys.
Matthew was named player of the tournament at the Under-19s World Cup qualifier in September. And as can be seen by his performances last month, this wasn't a one-off.
Matthew Humphreys, the Clear Currency Emerging Talent Award male winner for 2021. Congratulations, Matthew. What does this award mean to you?
Thanks very much. First of all, I'd like to say thanks to Cricket Ireland for putting the award together, and absolutely delighted to have won it. It's been a great year.
Tell us about the experience there at the Under-19 World Cup. How was it for you?
It was pretty special. getting to train at world-class facilities and play at test grounds, I mean, it's pretty much a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And then getting to qualify the group for the next World Cup was always one of our aims, and to be able to do that leaves a legacy for us. So, I mean, we're very happy about it.
And getting to a plate final, that was pretty good. Was that the expectation, or did you exceed expectations?
I think it was always definitely in the back of our minds. We sort of went into the tournament with just the idea that if we play our best game, that the results will follow. So, like, I mean, getting to the play final was always a big achievement. We're obviously disappointed not to win it, but yeah, we were pretty happy to get there.
So if you want to hear more from Matthew, I'd encourage you after this broadcast to hop onto Cricket Ireland's Twitter or Facebook channels and watch the full interview with Matthew. Now, we are getting down to the final 2 awards. In 2021, the Ireland women's side roared back into action, winning 2 bilateral home series, winning a memorable away series in Zimbabwe and qualifying for the next ICC Women's Championship. So now our next award is the Hanley Energy International Women's Player of the Year for 2021. This award is a peer-nominated award where senior squad members rate the performance and impact of their teammates. Over to Kim Madden from Hanley Energy.
Thanks, Marie. Hanley Energy have been the proud sponsors of the Ireland women's team since 2017, and we're thrilled to sponsor the International Women's Player of the Year award. The top 4 contenders this year are Laura Delaney, Gabby Lewis, Leah Paul, and Orla Prendergast. And I'm delighted to announce the winner is Gabby Lewis. Congratulations, Gabby, from all at Hanley Energy.
Congratulations, Gabby. It's been quite the season.
Yeah, it's been a great year. Obviously having such a long break during COVID to get out and have a few games, obviously starting with the home series, it was great. We were so lucky to get those games in the home summer. So yeah, it was a really successful year as a team.
You know, your inclusion in the ICC T20 Team of the Year, we've already, it's already been mentioned. I would like to focus a wee bit on your experience in the 100. How was that? How did you find it?
Oh yeah, obviously it was one of a kind experience. It was great to get that opportunity, playing with those high quality players and just like kind of living that lifestyle and seeing how they go about their game and learning off them. And obviously like playing at Lords, like it's obviously something I dreamed of as a kid. So doing that obviously, and then obviously bringing what I learned back into the Irish team and obviously stepping up and more in that leadership role as well was really good in Zimbabwe as well. So no, it was a really good, valuable experience.
You mentioned Zimbabwe, and you've also mentioned there about the experience of playing alongside and with and against world-class cricketers. Obviously, the big thing for women's cricket in Ireland is the qualification for the Women's Championship in 2022. It's a potential game changer for the game here. How exciting is it for the women's team? And looking forward, it must be hugely exciting for you.
Oh, it's so exciting. Obviously coming back from COVID when we were kind of begging for games, and now we're obviously have those guaranteed games over the next 4 years. We're so lucky, and I just can't wait to get started. And obviously getting to play those high quality teams on a regular basis is just going to be like game changer for us. So I'm really excited to get started.
So now our final award is the ITW International Men's Player of the Year for 2021. 2021 had its ups and downs, but amongst it were some many memorable moments for the men's senior side. Not just the team wins over South Africa and Zimbabwe, but so many standout moments. Who can forget Curtis Camphor's double hat-trick, Simi Singh's ODI century coming in at 8, and Paul Stirling finishing the year as the highest run scorer in ODI cricket in the world, to name just a few. This This award is a peer-nominated award where senior squad members provide a 3-2-1 based on performance and impact. So over to Vivek Chandra from ITW to name the top 4 contenders and to announce the winner.
Thanks, Mary. ITW is proud to sponsor International Men's Player of the Year Award. The nominees for this year are Andrew Belberine, Josh Little, Simi Singh, and Paul Sterling. And the winner is the season campaigner, Paul Sterling.
Congratulations, Sterlo. And incredibly, this is the 3rd time in as many years that Paul has taken this award, which is a testament to his impact and consistency.
Paul Sterling, bit of a habit now at this stage. 3 years in a row, the ITW International Player of the Year. But I presume it's an award that you cherish?
Absolutely, yeah. I'm absolutely delighted to receive this award. Thanks again to Cricket Ireland, and I suppose it's brilliant that the players have voted for myself to come out on top of that. So really delighted to receive that. Again, yeah, you never take it for granted. So three in a row is pretty special.
You also had a very good 2021, included in the ICC Team of the Year, and then at the end of the year, you captained the one-day series squad to a victory against the West Indies. So a very good year for you. You must be pleased.
Delighted, yeah. I think it's been an odd one with COVID around. It's been tougher in certain areas than it has been in the past. So to get past those challenges and still perform, I think I can take a lot of confidence from that. I don't think it's been necessarily too easy, being stuck in hotel rooms and just having to keep that focus on cricket. It's actually harder to get away from cricket than it is focused on the cricket. So delighted that you can still go out and express yourself on the cricket field, and happy that it went okay for 2021.
And you had a lot of franchise cricket as well during the year. How did you find all that, along with your Irish commitments?
Yeah, I just enjoy playing cricket. It's something that I've always done since a young age. I'm not necessarily the best trainer, I would say. I do my best work on the pitch, try and play as many games as I can throughout the year. So that's one of the positives about playing in franchise cricket, is you can always stay in that moment, in that sort of intensity that you need to perform at an international level, and that's as close a second as you can get. So it's really important for me, because I really need that, something I always look for, to try and find those gigs around the world, because it does bring you up to that level. It's not too much of a step up international, so it's important for me. Maybe should try and get better on the practice field as well.
That concludes this year's awards presentation. A big thank you to our event sponsor, ITW, and to Waterford for the fabulous awards. On behalf of myself, Kyle, John, and the whole team behind the event, we hope you've enjoyed the show. And now I encourage you to jump onto Cricket Ireland's social media channels to watch our extended interviews and bonus content. Thank you very much, and best of luck to all for the 2022 season to come.